So here we go again to calculate the standard deviation of grouped frequency distribution this time around. The formula is going to take a slightly different shape, though we have different variations of this formula, but let's just go with this one. There are other formulas that you can use and then you arrive at the same aim, the same goal, or the same answer. But for the sake of this video and this example, let's stick with this formula. All right, so right here we have your standard deviation, still sigma. That's the symbol for standard deviation. Again, we have a very old friend, sigma here again, and F means frequency, of course. The only thing that may be looking strange here, which should not be strange anyway, is okay, why am I always having to correct this formula? This is all squared, yeah. So which should not be strange is Mr. D, and D here would be the deviation of your class center from your assumed mean. And I'll be referring back to the video on arithmetic mean of grouped frequency distribution. I discussed quite extensively on what D is, what C is, and also what the assumed mean is, and how to get your assumed mean, how to compute your D. So you will need to go back to the video on how to compute the arithmetic mean of grouped frequency distribution. So C here would just be your class center, M is your assumed mean, and D is C minus M, that is the deviation of your class centers from your assumed mean. So let's just go straight to an example. So I have a grouped frequency distribution here, together with the formula for the standard deviation under here, just to guide us. So we see that the first thing here is to find the summation of FD squared, and right here also we need the summation of FD. So that will mean that we need to find D first, and I've explained that D is C minus M. How do you get C? C is your class center. Just say your lower limit plus your upper limit divided by 2. So I'm just going to create another column for C, and which is for the first class would be the lower class limit 7 plus the upper class limit 12 divided by 2. For the second class would be 13 plus 18 divided by 2. So where this is 9.5 and this would be your 15.5. So what I'm going to do now to save time, I'm just going to skip the computations and fill up the column. So to fill it up, this will be 9.5, 15.5, 21.5, 27.5, 33.5, 39.5, 45.5, and then 51.5. So we have our C column ready. The next is to find the M, and I said M is your assumed mean. I've explained in previous video that your assumed mean, you just pick the middle value of your assumed mean column, and this time around we have two middle values because this is 3 above, 3 below, so these are the center values. And I said you can choose either of the two. You can either choose the first one, which is 27.5, or you can choose the second one. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be sticking with 27.5, I would recommend that you, after watching this video, you recompute the standard deviation by using 33.5 as your own assumed mean, but I'm using this as my assumed mean. So hopefully you're going to get the same answer as me in this video, but you should anyway if your calculations are correct. So my assumed mean right now, again, I'd like to signify this as my assumed mean. So let me put my assumed mean in yellow. All right, I have my assumed mean right there. So I can create my D colon. D would mean C minus your assumed mean, and my assumed mean is the circled figure, circled value there. So for my assumed mean, I can just use my calculator and just compute direct. So for the first C, because do not forget that your D is C minus M, C minus M. So this is your first C minus your M, your second C minus your same M, your third C minus M, then you fill up the column like that. So just go for the first one, 9.5, that's my first C minus my M. My M is a constant, it remains the same throughout the computation. So for my first M, I have negative 18, or rather for my first D value, I have negative 18. The next is 15.5 minus M, I have negative 12. Up next, 21.5, negative 6. This should be 0 because when you subtract a number by itself. Next we have 33, 6, 39, 12, 45, 18, and then 51. So that's 24. Moving on, we need, for the first one here, we need FD squared, which means we need a colon called D squared. And right here also we need FD. So we can just find our FD first, then get our FD squared. You can do it the other way around, it's your choice. But for simplicity, I think I will go for my FD first. So FD would mean that F times D, F all of this times all of this. So multiply F by D. For the first one, we have 3 times minus 18. I have minus 54. Up next we have 7 times minus 12 minus 84. The next is 7 times minus 6 minus 42. Up next we have 14 times 0, 0. 10 times 6, 60. 5 times 12, still 60. 2 times 18, 36. And finally 2 times 40, 2 times 24, instead 48. So with FD, then we can get FD squared colon FD squared. So for FD squared, how do we find FD squared? Note that we have FD Yeah, so we have FD. But we can find, there are two ways we can find FD squared by saying F times D squared. F times D squared surely give us FD squared. But that will mean that you have to create another colon for D squared, but that's going to waste your time. Instead, since we have FD already, FD times D should give you FD squared, right? So we just multiply this FD colon by this D colon. That should give you FD squared straight up. Then we call on our calculator again. So we are simply multiplying this by this to give us all of this. So we say for the first one, minus 18 times minus 54, we have 972. The next, minus 12 times minus 84, we have 1008. Up next, minus 6 times minus 42, here we have 252. This is simply 0. Then 6 times 60, we have 360. Next, 12 times 60, we have 720. 18 times 36, we have 648. And then 24 times 48, we have 1152, 1152. Okay, back to our formula. Now our formula says for your FD squared you sum it, for your FD you also sum it. So let's sum both FD squared and FD. So let's start with the FD. Let's start with FD. Just sum up everything. We have minus 54 plus minus 84 plus minus 42 plus 0 plus 60 plus 60 plus 36 plus 48. Total is 24. So for total we have 24. We do the same for the FD squared colon. 972 plus 1008 plus 252 plus 0 plus 360 plus 720 plus 648 plus 1152. So altogether we have 5112. Back to our formula. Then for the denominators we need n. N is, as always, doesn't change, your total frequency. To get your total frequency, just add up all your frequencies. If you add that up, you can pause it and add it. Total frequency is 50. Now we can apply our formula. Okay, so for the first one we have summation FD squared as 5112 divided by n. N is 50 minus summation FD. Summation FD is 24 divided by n, which remains 50. This one we're taking the all square. Then you take the square roots of everything, and then you put that in your calculator, you get your answer as well. So just punch directly into your calculator. This is 5112 divided by 50 minus open brackets 24 divided by 50, close the brackets, and all squared. So we've got now standard deviation 10.010 to 3 decimal places. And of course, to get your variance would be your standard deviation squared, and you can just say the square of our final answer is 1 over 2.010 to 3 decimal places. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lecture series. Thanks for watching.